Downspout. The gutter strap is going to be left a little higher for us. You can see these PVC drains that are failing. You can see what happens. They just deteriorate over time. There's no UV protection in PVC. Anything PVC has no UV protection. All of these are all broken and cracked and settled, and the water just pours out and it floods right at the foundation of the home. This is normal, and this is what we see all the time with PVC. You know, it separates, it doesn't have UV protection, so the water is coming out right there. The water's been flooding right here. You can see the damage it's caused to the home. You can see all the mold, the mildew. You can see how the brick and mortar is starting to shale. You can see the mortar and brick shaling. This is some more damage to the house. This is a beautiful house, by the way. So the homeowner caught this in time, in my opinion. A lot of people would have let this go until there was some real, structure failure. At that point, you're making an insurance claim and you're living a nightmare. So you can see what happened here. Again, there's no UV protection, so this just gets brittle and it just falls apart.
When downspouts fail you, whatever the case might be to lead to the failure, the water damage that it does to your structure, it's silent. You don't hear it. You don't hear it settling the foundation. You don't hear it cracking the brick veneer or shaling the brick veneer. You don't hear it rotting out the rough construction behind the veneering.
But this becomes brittle, does the same thing because it has no UV protection. HDPE and corrugated pipe, it has UV protection. We have UV protection put in our corrugated pipe for a reason. You can see this thing's just a mess. Again, we have failure. Again, we have separation. We have water escaping. All right, the grass is growing over this pop-up. This pop-up hasn't been able to daylight. It's like this around the entire house. So there's a bunch of tree seeds and everything. I'm sure once we get inside this, we're going to see that it's just plugged solid. Then the water just pours out right here, right where you make the connection. It just pours right out. This is settled since. It's another problem you have with rigid pipe. It's really hard to adjust after the ground settles around these homes.
We see more clogged lines. This line clogged. There was no leaf filter. It had to be disconnected, and the water now just has to dump right there because that line went through the patio, through the base material, out into the yard.
Got the beginning of foundation problems. We got to remove a PVC system. This is something that we do. It's very common. These don't have a very long life expectancy. We're going to remove this. We're going to put in our vented clean out. We're going to vent the line out to our pop-up with a turf restrictor plate.
Our vented cleanout leaf filter sits down in PVC pipe. Thin wall or thick wall, it doesn't matter. And you could run your downspout all the way to the blue screen inside it. So if you have settling at the foundation, it'll slide a little bit out of the leaf filter and it won't come disconnected. And it's easy to install on rigid pipe as well. All you have to do is take the top off, slide it up your downspout, put your leaf filter on, and then slide your top back down in place.
Pull the screen out. Put the back in first. Push the front in. Hear it snap. Door goes on. Right back to business.
Beautiful.
If you found any of this information helpful, give us a thumbs up. It supports the channel. If you have any questions regarding underground buried downspouts, leave them in the comments section.